Guys, come fast. I'm 1 minute. Hello, hello, hello. People are coming. Hello, hello. Ready for Modernism Part 2? Pranam, good evening. Tell me today, how are you all? Ready for encyclopedia? Let me put this away. Ready for Ezra Pound? Remember, that is what we are going to do with today. Yesterday, we talked up to James Joyce. Thank you, Satyalakshmi. Thank you, Aniruddha Kumar. I am not wearing my sari today. I am wearing comfortable clothes. Not Ezra Pound, actually. D.H. Lawrence first. I'm fine. Active. Nautangi bani hu main. No, D.H. Lawrence we did yesterday. We have to do Ezra Pound. Right. Do you know in which year Ezra Pound was born? Same year as D.H. Lawrence. Many people got third volume today. Many people got it. They got it in their hands. Wow. Tell me. Ezra Pound born in the same year as D.H. Lawrence. Which year? Tell me, I'm waiting. 1885. That's right. 1885. Thank you, Anu. 1885. You know, he was born in America. He was an American expatriate poet. Born of Quaker Puritan parents. In which university did he meet the other images? In which university did he meet the other images? Okay, Meenakshi, you're going to get it in a few days. Hi, Naina. Hi, Ranjana. University of, that's right, Aniruddha Kumar. University of Pennsylvania. He also had the slogan, make it new. Make it new was his slogan. That's right. And what kind of technique did he use? The technique that he used is what, writing technique that he used is called what? Thank you, Srishti. The technique that allowed poetry to deal with abstract content using concrete images. Take a concrete images like a red wheelbarrow or a station in the metro, and using concrete images talk about abstract contents. What is that technique called? Hi, Swati. I'm okay. No, not imagism. It is called Idiogrammic Method. Idiogrammic Method means using concrete images to present abstract contents. Will you remember? Idiogrammic Method. He was influenced by what Japanese kind of poetry? It was, he introduced this Japanese poetry to W.B. Yeats. Ezra Pound introduced this kind of Japanese poetry to W.B. Yeats. Not typography, Suraya. What are you saying? Not imagism. Idiogrammic method. Yeah. What is the haiku? That is right. Mishtab said it. Haiku, not theater it is. Poetry, haiku and tanka. Poetry is haiku and tanka. Hi, Santosh Kumar. Hello, hello, hello. Haiku and tanka. Okay, they are Japanese style of poetry. Which English critic is considered the father of imagism? Even before imagism, that English critic wrote in the style of imagism. Which English critic is called the father of imagism? That is T.E. Hume. T.E. Hume is called the father of imagism. What is the first imagist collection of poetry? Not anthology. Which is Thank you, Suraya. Which is the first Imagist collection of poetry. That means Ezra Pound's collection, there were 25 poems there. Hello, Kavya. There were 25 poems in that collection. Which is the collection? Ezra Pound's collection. It is Repostus. Repostus. That is right, Sham. Repostus. There is an unfinished epic that Ezra Pound wrote. An unfinished epic that Ezra Pound wrote. What is the name of the unfinished epic? Where one section is about his horrible experiences when he was arrested by the Americans during the Second World War. Des Imagistus is an anthology. Repostus is a collection. Collection is by one man. Cantos. Hello, Jyoti. Cantos, correct. Kalavara. Cantos is an unfinished 120 section epic. That's right. Cantos. In thank you, Kamlesh. In Cantos, there is a section called Pisan Cantos. He was living in Pisa at that time, and he supported Mussolini's fascism. And you want me to teach topic? Okay, I will teach you a topic also. Okay, Suman. Cantos is an unfinished epic where there is a section called Pisan Cantos, and Pisan Cantos is about his horrible experiences in the Second World War, when American army arrested him, put him in a cage open to the elements, to rain and sunshine, and he went mad there. Thank you, Suman, for telling me that. I will teach you some topics also in between. That's good. In which collection of essays on poetry did Ezra Pound talk about the 3 principles of Imagism? In which collection of essays did Ezra Pound talk about the 3 principles of Imagism? Ezra Pound, Gaurav. Yeah, he went mad. Ezra Pound. It is in the essay collection called A Retrospect. Thank you, Soumya. Glad to see you too. A Retrospect is a collection of essays, 1918, where he talks about 3 principles of Imagism. Array, Des Imagistus is an anthology of poetry by different writers. Des Imagistus is different. You are mixing it up. That's wrong. Okay. Now let me ask you a question. A Few Don'ts by an Imagist. Where was it published first? A Few Don'ts by an Imagist. Where was it published first? A Few Don'ts by an Imagist. Where was it published first? It was first published in... Thank you, Kirtana. It was first published in Poetry, the magazine Poetry, 1913. Des Imagistus is in 1914. Okay. Ezra Pound and Windham Lewis. Ezra Pound and Windham Lewis together started which movement? Hi, priestess. Ezra Pound and Windham Lewis together started which movement? Vorticism. Ezra Pound and Windham Lewis together started Vorticism. In which periodical was Vorticism announced? In which periodical? Thank you, Maria. In which periodical was Vorticism announced? Blast. Thank you. If you appreciate me, will you also help me by liking the video and sharing it in Facebook or somewhere? It will help in a big way. If you want to do it, only do it. Otherwise, no problem. Then, Vorticism was partly inspired by Cubism. Vorticism partly inspired by Cubism. Which is the 1920 book that Ezra Pound wrote just before he left England? Sarparaj Sharavanan. It is Finnegans Wake that ends with the word the. Finnegans Wake. Of course, Suraya, everything. I am only reading out 10% of what is there in the encyclopedia. Which is the 1920 book published by Ezra Pound about a poet whose life becomes sterile and meaningless. He wrote it just before he left England. At first, from America, he emigrated to England. From England, he went to Paris, then Italy, and he died in Italy. And yes, Hugh Selwyn Mobley. Okay, I will teach literary theory. Okay. Hugh Selwyn Mobley. Okay, Hugh Selwyn Mobley. For which book company did Ezra Pound make furniture? For which book company did Ezra Pound make furniture? Yeah, it's a farewell poem. Hugh Selwyn Mobley is a farewell poem. Good evening, Neha. Tell me. It is Shakespeare and Company. The book company for which Ezra Pound made furniture is Shakespeare and Company. Will you remember that? Now, there was a 1934 book where he talks about the methodology of reading poetry. The methodology of reading poetry. In which book? 1934. Did he talk about the Faber and Faber? No. T.S. Eliot worked for Faber and Faber. In which book did he talk about appreciation of literature or reading literature? Good evening, Mithun. Tell me, it is ABC of reading. ABC of reading. Thank you, Shubhra. You are noting down everything. ABC of reading, 1934. That's right. Now, Ezra Pound died in Italy. Okay, he died in Italy. Where did John Keats die? Where did John Keats die? Same, in Italy. He was touring Rome and he died in Rome. That's right. Who is the author of Enemy of the Stars? Tar. The Art of Being Ruled. Time and Western Man. Any idea? Enemy of the Stars. Tar. The Art of Being Ruled. Time and Western Man. The Human Age. The Apes of God. He died in 1972. That's right, Divya. Tell me. All these books are written by Windham Lewis, with whom Ezra Pound founded Vorticism. Did you understand? Thank you, Pragati. Now, let me ask you a question. In which year was T.S. Eliot born? Ezra Pound and D.H. Lawrence, 1885. In which year was T.S. Eliot born? Ezra Pound died in 1972. T.S. Eliot died before that in 1965. T.S. Eliot born in 1888. Nina, this is not actually polka dots. It is little stars. I have on my shirt little stars. Okay. T.S. Eliot, 1888 to 1965. Yeah, it is about the methodology of poetry. That's right. There was a periodical that only T.S. Eliot edited. From its beginning till its end, only T.S. Eliot edited. Which is the periodical? Everybody knows it. It's very important. Which is the periodical that is only edited by T.S. Eliot? The Criterion. Why is it important? Because it is where The Wasteland was published. The Wasteland was published there. T.S. Eliot was born in St. Louis in Missouri. To which university did he go? Thank you, Neha. To which university did he go? Hi, Liji. Thank you, Chitra. I'm so energetic. Why are you saying egoist? Are no, the Criterion. Yeah. To which university did he go? Say that? Harvard. He went to Harvard. In Harvard, one professor called Babbitt, Irving Babbitt, influenced him. Irving Babbitt belonged to which movement? Irving Babbitt belonged to which movement? Irving Babbitt was a new humanist. Have you heard of that? Irving Babbitt was a new humanist. In Harvard, he developed an interest in French symbolism. Who? T.S. Eliot. French symbolism. And he worked as a director later on. He worked as the director of assistant editor of Egoist. It was not only Eliot who edited Egoist. Many people edited Egoist. But only Eliot edited Criterion. And yes, Neha, thank you. He worked for Faber and Faber too. Hello, Charm. Thank you, Suresh. Yeah. What Perles Buck? What did Perles Buck do? I didn't get you. Then, which book on symbolism influenced Eliot? Shubhangi? Which book on Meera? Eliot got Nobel Prize in 1948. Meera is telling us that's right. Shweta, that's cool. Western look. Yeah. Tell me now. You're wasting time by saying other things. Which book on symbolism influenced T.S. Eliot? Hi, good evening. Exclusively for exams. Tell me. Symbolism, the symbolist movement in literature. Who wrote the book? Arthur Symons. Neha, pay attention. You are simply dancing and wasting time. The symbolist movement in literature by Arthur Symons. Array, Nikhil is saying golden notebook. Kya baat kar rahe ho aap? Kya golden notebook? Now, which is the first major poem by T.S. Eliot written when he was a student in Harvard? It's about a modern man not being able to take control of his life. He's just going everywhere, meeting girls, but he's not able to propose to them. He's just measuring his life in coffee spoons. The first major poem written by Eliot is The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock. The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock. The epigraph of Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock is taken from where? He is telling the reader, I will tell you my sins, because I'm sure you're not going to go out and tell the world about it. Because like me, you, the reader, is also trapped in this wasteland. That is the meaning. Epigraph is taken from Dante's Inferno. Epigraph is taken from Dante's Inferno. Okay. The opening of the poem shows a conceit. Let's go then, you and I, when the evening is spread out against the sky, like a patient eat rice upon the table. Yeah. Then next question to you is, will you complete the lines that I quote from this book? In the room, the women come and go, talking of dash. In the room, the women come and go, talking of dash. That's right, Michelangelo. What do women have to do with Michelangelo? They are just talking something that they don't understand. I have measured out my life with dash. I have measured out my life with dash. Coffee spoons. Coffee spoons. No, I am not dash. No, I am not dash, nor was meant to be. No, I am not Prince Hamlet, nor was meant to be. I grow old, I grow old. I shall wear the bottoms of my dash, dash. I grow old, I grow old. I shall wear the bottoms of my dash, dash. I shall wear the bottoms of my trousers rolled. It is about, what is this poem about? It is about an educated man. He's eloquent, but he's neurotic. He's anti-heroic. He's not able to take control of his life. He's just wasting his life. And whatever he speaks just becomes meaningless banter. Did you understand? There is a poem, which is a dramatic interior monologue of an old man. Which is that poem? Which is the poem by T.S. Eliot? Which is the dramatic interior monologue of an old man? It is Gerontian. Gerontian is an interior monologue in just 6 stanzas of an old man, a little elderly man is speaking as a boy reads to him. Okay. The epigraph of Gerontian is taken from dash. The epigraph of Gerontian is taken from dash. M for M. Measure for measure. The epigraph of Gerontian is taken from measure for measure. What is the epigraph? Thou hast nor youth nor age. Thou hast nor youth nor age. The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock, The Wasteland, The Hollow Men, Gerontian, they are all called dash cycle of poems. They're all called dash cycle of poems. They're all called the Wasteland cycle of poems. The Wasteland cycle of poems. Which famous poem by Eliot was composed during a mental breakdown, a nervous breakdown that the poet had, and he was convalescing at Margate. Which famous poem by Eliot was written following a nervous breakdown when he was convalescing at Margate? That is The Wasteland. The Wasteland, edited by Ezra Pound. How does Eliot pay tribute to Ezra Pound? What does he call Ezra Pound in the dedication? Eliot calls Ezra Pound what in the dedication? Eliot calls Ezra Pound Il Miglior Fabbro. Means what? It means the better craftsman. Il Miglior Fabbro means the better craftsman. Okay. What was the original intended title of The Wasteland? Nikhil, that's wrong. What was the original intended title of The Wasteland? Shailesh, tell me. Priyanka, tell me. Harsha, tell me. Moshmi, tell me. Shivapriya, tell me. He do the police in different voices. He do the police in different voices. Will you remember that? The Wasteland was first published in the UK in the Criterion. Where was it first published in the US? In which periodical was it first published in the US? The Dial. Oh, I forgot to ask you. From which book is the title He Do the Police in Different Voices taken? He do the police in different voices is taken from which novel? Our Mutual Friend by Charles Dickens. Our Mutual Friend by Charles Dickens. Amrita, did you know that, Komal? There are 2 Priyankas here. Wow. Now, next question I want to ask you is, where is the title The Wasteland taken from? Where is the title The Wasteland taken from? Jesse Westerns from Ritual to Romance. Jesse Westerns from Ritual to Romance, 1920 book, okay? Which famous book that influenced Eliot is subtitled A Study in Magic and Religion? Which famous book that influenced Eliot is subtitled A Study in Magic and Religion? It is James Fraser's Golden Bough. What are you saying, Suresh? Chennai means? Something. Net said dream only net. Something. I saw that. Now, the Golden Bough, a study in magic and religion. Remember that. Next question I want to ask you is, where did he take the Holy Grail legend from? Thank you, Priyanka. Where did he take the Holy Grail legend from? Arthurian legends, of course, but from which book? It is Jesse Western's book, From Ritual to Romance. Who is searching for Holy Grail? Which Arthurian knight searches for Holy Grail? Tell me which Arthurian knight searches for Holy Grail. It is Sir Percival. Sir Percival. Sir Percival. Okay, next question I want to ask you is, from which book did he take the Theban prophet Tyracius? It is not from Oedipus. From which book did he take the Theban prophet Tyracius? It is from Ovid's Metamorphoses. Ovid's Metamorphoses. You know what Eliot said? Tyracius is an all-inclusive consciousness. What he sees is the substance of the poem. Where is the epigraph of the wasteland taken from? Where is the epigraph of the wasteland taken from? It is taken from Satyricon by Petronius. Satyricon by Petronius. Those who love me and appreciate me, will you like the video? Will you also share it in WhatsApp or Facebook, please? Did anybody ever share it in social media? Tell me. Did anybody till now ever share it in social media? I don't know. I don't get time to check out social media. Thank you, Kirtana. Now tell me, the character Madame Sosostris in the first section of The Wasteland is taken from dash. Thank you, everybody. And that's touching. Thank you. Madame Sosostris, character from which novel? Thank you, Sarju. It is from Aldous Huxley's Chrome Yellow. Did you know that Chrome Yellow is the debut novel by Aldous Huxley? First novel. Thank you so much. If you want it, only do it. If you don't like to share, don't share. No problem. What is the first section of The Wasteland? The Burial of the Dead. What is the second section of The Wasteland? A Game of Chess. Which play does the title allude to? A Game of Chess alludes to which play? By whom? By Middleton. A Game of Chess alludes to Middleton's A Game at Chess, which is the longest section of The Wasteland. Which is the longest section of The Wasteland? It is the Fire Sermon. The Fire Sermon, which is the shortest section of The Wasteland. It is death by water. Death by water. Okay. Which Upanishad is alluded to in the last section of the wastelands? Which Upanishad is alluded to? Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. What is the meaning of da? The word spoken by the thunder, da, means what? Da means datta or give, dayadhvam or sympathize, damyata or control. Datta, dayadhvam, damyata. Give, sympathize, control. And the last, Om nahi hai. Ace English by Madhusudan sir. Om nahi hai. It is only Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Okay. Now, where do you find this line? Poetry is not a turning loose of emotion, but an escape from emotion. Where do you find this line? Tradition and the individual talent. Tradition and the individual talent. 1919. Published first time in Times Literary Supplement. The Sacred Wood is a collection of critical essays by Eliot. Okay. From which religion to which religion did T.S. Eliot convert? T.S. Eliot converted from Unitarianism to which religion? T.S. Eliot converted from Unitarianism to which religion? Bolo. 433 or 434. Both are seen actually. 433, I think. Anglicanism is correct. All of you said the correct answer. Right. It was in 1927 he converted. Same year, he also became a British citizen. Okay. Which poem by Eliot? Which poem by Eliot has two epigraphs? Which poem by Eliot has two epigraphs? The Hollow Men. The Hollow Men. And what are the two epigraphs? One is Mr. Coutts, he dead. The other is A Penny for the Old Guy. That is referring to Guy Fawkes Day. Hollow Men. Hollow Men is an objective correlative of the condition of Europe at this time. That was 1925 poem. In the year of conversion, that is 1927, he brought out two poems. In the year in which he converted, that is 1927, he brought out two poems. Which are they? They are both religious. One is The Journey of the Magi. The other is Ash Wednesday. The Journey of the Magi and Ash Wednesday. Ash Wednesday is a poem based on Dante's Purgatorio. It's also called conversion poem. Yeah, conversion poem. Which are the four quartets? Which are the four quartets? Tell me in the correct order. Shelma, the first, Mr. Coutts, he dead. That is from Heart of Darkness. The first epigraph in Hollow Men is Mr. Coutts, he dead. The second is A Penny for the Old Guy. Yeah, four quartets are Burnt Norton, East Coker, Dry Salvages, Little Gidding. Burnt Norton, East Coker, Dry Salvages, and Little Gidding. To purify the dialect of the tribe. This is a line from BEDL is correct. To purify the dialect of the tribe. It is from Little Gidding, which is the collection of humorous verse that he wrote. Which is the collection of humorous verse that he wrote. Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats. Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats is the humorous collection of poems that he wrote. I'm going to tell you the titles of some essays, famous essays. You have to complete the titles. Are you ready? The Idea of a Dash. T.S. Eliot's essay, The Idea of a Dash. Tell me. The Idea of a Dash. The Idea of a Dash. The Idea of a Christian University. The Idea of a Christian University. Notes towards a dash. My WhatsApp number I'll give you. Notes towards a dash. Notes towards a definition of culture, very famous. Notes towards a definition of culture is very famous. Satyapal Singh, I have just texted. Did you see that? Thank you. Okay. To criticize the dash. Not Christian University, Shailesh, it's a Christian society. To criticize the dash. To criticize the critic. To criticize the critic. Which play by Eliot was subtitled An Aristophanic Fragment? Which play by Eliot was subtitled An Aristophanic Fragment? Sweeney Agonistus. Sweeney Agonistus is a poetic play, which is the famous poetic play from 1935. The famous poetic play from 1935. An Aristophanic Fragment or Fragments of an Aristophanic Melodrama. Two subtitles are there. 1935 is The Murder in the Cathedral. The Murder in the Cathedral. That's right. In Murder in the Cathedral, how many knights are going to kill St. Thomas Becket? Thomas Becket is killed by how many knights? Four knights is the answer. 4 knights are there in Murder in the Cathedral. Then, in which month of 1170 is this happening? In which month of 1170 is this happening? December. Wow, Mishab has written the names of all the knights. Reginald Fitzurse, Hugh de Morville, William de Tracy, Richard Le Breton. Not Brito, Breton. Okay. 4 knights are there. December. What is the peculiarity of the women of the... No. The poor women of Canterbury, what are they in the play? The poor women of Canterbury, what are they in the play? The poor women of Canterbury, what are they in the play? They are the chorus. They are the chorus. Did you know that there is an interlude between the first part and second part? The interlude shows Thomas's sermon on Christmas Day. The interlude is Thomas's sermon on Christmas Day. Martyrdom and temptation are the themes of Murder in the Cathedral. Okay? Which is the poetic play that is a detective play. that Eliot wrote in blank verse? You're all answering so many questions. I'm so terribly happy. May all of you pass with JRF. All of you should pass. You will all have awesome careers. I'm really praying to God. Please help them. They are such wonderful people. They are struggling and studying so much. Please help them, dear God. Let them pass. Let them have awesome careers. Let them be great professors. From the depth of my heart, I'm saying this. You will pass. Keep on studying. Which is the detective play. Not cocktail party, family reunion. Family reunion. It's a poetic play in 2 acts written in blank verse. Harry Lord Monchelsi. That is the Monchelsi, who is the protagonist. Which is the play that begins and ends with a party. Which is the play that begins and ends with a party. I'm happy. The play that begins and ends with a party. Cocktail party. That's right. Cocktail party. It centers on the couple, Edward and Lavinia Chamberlain. Edward and Lavinia Chamberlain. Okay. Which is the comic play where Claude Mulhammer is trying to smuggle his illegitimate son into his house. Claude Mulhammer is trying to smuggle his illegitimate son into his house. The confidential clerk. Confidential clerk. Which, what is the name of the elder statesman in Elder Statesman? What is the name of the elder statesman in Elder Statesman? It is Lord Claverton. Lord Claverton. Remember that. Okay, now we come to Aldous Huxley. Macavity the Mystery Cat. Yes. That is a comic poem. Aldous Huxley was born in 1894. Aldous Huxley and Auden Group poets. They were all editors of a book of poetry. What is that book of poetry called? Aldous Huxley and the Auden Group poets all edited a book of poetry. What is it called? Oxford poetry. Oxford poetry. Will you remember? Oxford poetry. Now, which is the travel book by Aldous Huxley about his visit of India? Which is the travel book by Aldous Huxley about his visit of India? It is Jesting Pilot. Jesting Pilot is the travel book by Aldous Huxley about his visit of India. Who introduced Aldous Huxley to Vedanta? Who introduced Aldous Huxley to Vedanta? It is Gerald Hurd. Gerald Hurd introduced Aldous Huxley to Vedanta. How is Aldous Huxley related to Pride and Prejudice and Jane Eyre? How is Aldous Huxley related to Pride and Prejudice and Jane Eyre? Trick question. Purohit Swami. Prabhavananda. Thank you, free spirits. Thank you. Gerald Hurd introduced him to Vedanta. How is he related to Pride and Prejudice and Jane Eyre? He wrote the screenplays for these movies. Aldous Huxley in Hollywood wrote the screenplays for these movies. That's right, Namrata, you said it. Debut novel of Aldous Huxley is Chrome Yellow, I told you. Which is the novel by Aldous Huxley, title taken from Edward II? Which novel by Aldous Huxley has a title taken from Edward II? Antique has a title taken from Edward II. Antique. Then, which novel has a title taken from Wordsworth's Tables Turned? Which novel by Aldous Huxley has a title taken from Wordsworth's poem, The Tables Turned? Those Barren Leaves. Those Barren Leaves. Which is Aldous Huxley's longest novel title taken from music? Aldous Huxley's longest novel title taken from music. Batao, batao, I'm waiting. मुझे लग रहा है कनेक्शन का कोई प्रॉब्लम है. मैं क्वेश्चन पूछती हूँ और 4-5 मिनट के बाद ही आपके मैसेजेस आते हैं. Point Counterpoint is the longest novel by Huxley. That's right. Namrata said it again. Point Counterpoint, title taken from music. And do you know Aldous Huxley was associated with the term musicalized fiction? He wanted to bring in all the elements of fiction together like a harmony, like an orchestra, harmonious blending of different elements. That is called musicalization of fiction, term associated with Aldous Huxley. All right, next point I want to ask you is, which is Aldous Huxley's first dystopian novel? That means he wrote many dystopian novels. Which is Aldous Huxley's first dystopian novel? It is Brave New World. After that, अरे विजय भगत, फिक्र मत करो, ऐसे ही लोग पढ़ते हैं ना, आप भी समझ जाओगे सब कुछ और आप भी बोल सकोगे. नो प्रॉब्लम, डोंट वरी. Brave New World, title taken from Tempest, first dystopian novel. And Ape and Essence, then Island. These are other dystopian novels. Ape and Essence and Island. Which is the novel by Aldous Huxley, title taken from Samson Agonistus? Novel by Aldous Huxley whose title is taken from Samson Agonistus. Isles in Gaza. Isles in Gaza, taken from Samson Agonistus. Okay. Which novel is set in AF 632? AF 632. AF 632. AF means after Ford. Ford is like Jesus Christ. After Ford. Brave New World, obviously. Brave New World. What is the name of the Alpha plus psychologist in Brave New World? What is the name of the Alpha plus psychologist in Brave New World? Bernard Marx. Bernard Marx. What is the drug that everybody drinks in Brave New World? What is the drug that everybody drinks in Brave New World? Soma. Soma is the drug. Will you remember? Soma is the drug. Which novel by Aldous Huxley refers to Gandhi's death? Mahatma Gandhi's death on 30th January 1948 is mentioned in which novel by Aldous Huxley? It is in Ape and Essence. Ape and Essence. That they might ask, okay? Other than Bernard Marx, who is the other protagonist of Brave New World? Who is the other protagonist of Brave New World? It is Savage John. Savage John, remember that. Then, after which war? Mustafa Mond, correct. I was going to ask that. After which war did Tyracius this dictatorship happen? Nine Years' War. 9 Years' War. Which is the novel by Aldous Huxley about a scientist in love with a Nobel Prize winning scientist's wife? One scientist is in love with another scientist's wife. The Genius and the Goddess. The Genius and the Goddess. Now, which novel by Aldous Huxley is about Anthony Bevis? Protagonist is Anthony Bevis. In that novel, blindness is a motive. Aldous Huxley also suffered from blindness. It is Isles in Gaza. Isles in Gaza. Time Must Have a Stop has a title, is a novel by Aldous Huxley. It has a title taken from a history play by Shakespeare. Which history play? Time Must Have a Stop has a title taken from a history play by Shakespeare. Which history play? Henry the Fourth, Part 1. Henry the Fourth, Part 1. Then next question is alphas, betas, gammas, deltas, epsilons. These are the social classes in alphas, betas, gammas, deltas, and epsilons. These are the social classes in Brave New Worlds. Brave New Worlds. In which novel by Aldous Huxley is a house party depicted? And that house is based on a real house called Garsington Manor, where Lady Ottoline Morrell used to entertain writers. Really, Meera? I think that is because you're not used to Aldous Huxley. Which novel by Aldous Huxley talks about a house party? And the house is based on a real house called Garsington Manor, where Lady Ottoline Morrell, one aristocratic lady, used to entertain her guests who are writers. The answer is chrome yellow. Chrome yellow. Will you remember? Now, next question is D.H. Lawrence and Aldous Huxley were friends. Something written by D.H. Lawrence, Aldous Huxley edited. Encyclopedia, 3 volumes together, is only on British literature. Together it is 1900 rupees. 1900. Something written by D.H. Lawrence, Aldous Huxley edited. What did he edit? Is it poetry? Is it short stories? Is it letters? Is it travelogues? Meera is smiling. It is Lawrence's letters. D.H. Lawrence's letters, Aldous Huxley edited. Will you remember that? Did you know that Aldous Huxley's mother was Matthew Arnold's niece? Aldous Huxley's mother was Matthew Arnold's niece. Okay. I'm going to stop at 10. Don't worry, Divya Kanwar. Then, Swami Prabhavananda and Christopher Isherwood wrote Bhagavad Gita in English. Swami Prabhavananda and Christopher Isherwood wrote Bhagavad Gita in English. What did Aldous Huxley have to do with it? What did he do? Aldous Huxley wrote the introduction to it. the introduction to it. Aldous Huxley died in the year John F. Kennedy was assassinated. Which is that year? Aldous Huxley died in the year John F. Kennedy was assassinated. Which is that year? Thank you, Pratigya, for appreciating me. 1963. 1963. So that brings us to the end of today's awesome discussion. I am closing my encyclopedia and wishing you good night. Good night, ladies. Good night, good night, good night. This line in the wasteland refers to dash. Last question. Good night, ladies. Good night, good night, good night. This line in the wasteland refers to dash. You say that, and with that, I'll end the video. बोलिए ना, पहले बोलो, आंसर बोलो, तभी जा सकते हैं. My dinner, I already had some bhaji, nothing else. It refers to Hamlet, Ophelia's farewell. That's right. Tomorrow I will talk about odd and group. Tomorrow's topic is odd and group. Study and come. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Good night, good night.